It's Mr. Wright. We are going to talk about similar figures, similar triangles today. All right, so we know with similar figures that you need all the angles in order for two figures to be similar. All the angles have to be congruent, and all the sides have to be proportional. So with triangles, you may not need all of that information to prove that they're similar. There's a couple of special rules. So the first one is called angle-angle. So what that means is that if triangles have two congruent angles, two sets of congruent angles, the triangles are going to be similar. So in this example, there's one set, there's the other set. So that's enough info to prove that the triangles are congruent. So two sets of congruent angles. This is one set of congruent angles. The other set would be your vertical angles. That would be your second set. So those two triangles are similar because angle-angle. Next thing you have to know, or the next one is side, angle, side. So with this, you have two sides are proportional, and then the angle that's in between those two sides has to be congruent. So you always have to check the scale factors for side, angle, side, the scale factor of the sides. So you match up your corresponding sides, so 12 and 3 match up. So you do 12 divided by 3, simplify that, you get 4. Then you match up the other sides, 4 and 1. Divide those, you get 4. So if both sides have the same scale factor, so when you match up those sides, if it equals the same fraction, and then you have the angle that's in between the two sides, then those two triangles are similar because side, angle, side. So that's the second one. So you have angle, angle, you have side, angle, side. The last one is side, side, side. So you don't actually need any angles. If you have 0 angles, all you have to do is check all 3 sides and make sure all 3 sides have the same scale factor. So you just match up the corresponding sides. So 4 matches up with 2.4, 7 matches up with 4.2, and this 7 matches up with 4.2. So if you just divide those 3 numbers, those 3 fractions, and get the same thing, that means all 3 sides are proportional, so the two triangles are similar because side, side, side. So those are the 3 things: angle, angle, side, 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 side. Let's look at a couple of examples. All right, so the first one, so I'm looking for, I only see angle, so the only option it can be would be angle, angle, but I see 90 and 90, so that's one angle. But then the other angle doesn't match up. One's 46, one's 44. But I know in a triangle, all 3 angles have to add up to 180. So I'm just going to solve for angle C. So when I subtract the 2 angles from 180, I get 44. Oh, so they are the same. So I have 90, 90, and then I have 44 and 44. So the two triangles are similar because angle, angle. Let's look at another one. So let's see, so I have one angle and I have 2 sides. So maybe it's side, angle, side, but I can't just say that. I actually need to check the scale factor to see if they match up. So 8 would match up with 10 because they're both the bigger numbers. And then 5.6 is going to match up with 7. When you simplify both of these, I get 4/5. So if you get the same scale factor, and if the angle is congruent, that's in between those 2 sides, then those 2 triangles have to be similar because side, angle, side. The scale factor for those 2 shapes will be 4/5. Here's another one. So this one, no angles, but I have 3 sides in each triangle. So I need to check the scale factor to see if it's the same. 20/12, 20/12, 15/9. So you just match up the corresponding sides, simplify. When I simplify, I get 5/3, 5/3, 5/3. So if they all have the same scale factor, all 3 are the same, then they are similar because side, side, side. This one, so this triangle, I have 3 sides, so maybe it's side, side, side. But this triangle only have 2 sides. There's no angles, so it can't be angle, angle, or side, angle, side. So if I actually don't have like 3 sides in both triangles, I don't have enough info. So this one, there's not enough info because both triangles, you need all 3 sides. Look at a couple more examples. This is another one. So again, if you have 2 angles in a triangle, you can solve for that 3rd angle. So if you minus both of those numbers from 180, I get 39. Once you find that 3rd angle, then you see if they match, 39, 36, 39, 36. So that's all you need, angle, angle. So they have two sets of congruent angles. So this one, I see three sides, so I'm going to check my fractions. I'm going to do 2 over 3, 2 over 3, and 1.5 over 2.25. So you just type that in. If it all equals the same thing when you type it in, then it's side, side, side. So if they all have the same scale factor, all the sides are proportional, that's what you need to check. Another angle one. This is another one. You need to check the missing angle. So when I subtract 61 and 61 from 180, I get 58. When I do this one, I get 58. So if I look now, I have 58, 58, but then, so the two triangles don't have the same angles. So if they don't have the same angles, it can't be angle, angle, so it's not similar. So they need to have two sets of congruent angles. Those two triangles don't. They're not similar. So, and then this one, if you check the fractions, those fractions are going to be the same, but the angle is not in between the two sides. It needs to be that angle. So because that angle isn't in between the two sides, they are not similar. So to do side angle side, the angle has to be between the two sides. So that's just another example where sometimes you may see that they're not going to be similar. So that is how you figure out if triangles are similar.